Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers podcast. Familiar faces back again. Been away for a couple of weeks. Welcome back, Lee.
Hello.
Yeah, he's excited to be back. You can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Yes, Lee is back, guys. Again, big thank you for Jay for coming on last week, and just me and Paul the week before. I hope you all enjoyed that. But Lee, you're back. Okay, so how has your thoughts on West Ham so far in the 2 weeks you were away? What have you got to say, really?
Well, we haven't played, which has been quite good. I don't think, have we, since the...
No, I think the Stoke game...
Stoke, but I was on the, obviously, on the...
Yeah, that was when you missed.
Yeah, on the vlog. So we haven't played, which is probably a blessing in itself, really, the way things have been going lately. But there's been a lot of Brady stuff I've noticed on Twitter and things. I haven't been on it that much, but I've been dipping in and out. And frankly, some of the language and stuff that's been said about her and the border things, I think is pretty atrocious. And frankly, people go on about the West Ham way and we want our club back and that, but just, I don't know if this has ever been discussed in the last couple of weeks, but I think it's disgusting, some of the language but like I've seen things like retweet if you think Karen Brady's a whore, things like that, and retweet if that slut needs to get out of our club. I think
that's a shame, isn't it?
No, but the thing is,
shame,
Paul, you say that, and it's banter, obviously.
I bet she hates it with her millions of pounds in her big ass.
But that's irrelevant. What I'm trying to say is people saying they want their West Ham back, and they blah, 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 we're going to do a runaway club, all that rubbish.
But that's nonsense. That's nonsense, yeah.
But the thing is that West Ham, that people talk to a woman like that grown men send things like that to a woman.
Who cares if she's a woman or not?
They won't say it to her face. They won't say it to her face in a million years. Okay, and it really got my back up that people are saying we want West Ham. West Ham are great. West Ham are brilliant. And I love West Ham. You know I do. I go to every bloody match, crying out loud. I spend an absolute fortune on them. But that isn't the West Ham I want to be associated with. The ones that are calling out people like that and sending things like that to her. I think it's disgusting. And that's what I've been thinking about the last couple of weeks. And I think it's absolutely disgusting. And regardless of what she's done, and less frankly, a lot of it's just attaching things to her. So every tiny little thing, that's Brady's fault. That's Brady's thing. Absolutely everything that happens. And she's been misquoted a couple of times as well. Let's not forget. And she actually has. We've seen that. That's fact. And still, everything gets pushed on her door. And yes, she's done wrong. Yes, the stadium thing hasn't been done. And yes, she is the head of the whole migration of the stadium things. But no one deserves to be called out in that manner. I think it's absolutely disgusting, and I'd rather not be associated with things like that, because honestly, it disgusts me, talking to women like that.
Well, first of all, right, this talking to women like that is nonsense anyway. Who cares if she's a woman or a man? It doesn't matter.
All right, talking to a man like that, people are saying about Dave Gold, you dyslexic so-and-so.
Right, the thing is, though, is she puts herself on that platform. She puts herself on a platform to be targeted. She's out there telling the world how great she is, and she's using her newspaper columns saying, yeah, look at me, ain't I amazing, ain't I great? She's putting herself on that platform. So
what she's done in her career, she probably deserves that.
Well, and what she's done, maybe some people would say she deserves the criticism she's getting.
But it's not criticism. Criticism's one thing. Specific, like, disgusting name-calling is another. That's not criticism.
Do you not feel that in her Sun article, though, Lee? I'm not. I
don't read the Sun. Just record. The Sun is full of lies. I don't read it. So
No. But she writes that article. Do you not think that she digs people out quite viciously? I'm not defending calling her those names at all, but she does not dig people out as well.
She does, and I've said what I'm about to say before, is that she's a woman in a heavily male-orientated, and you say what you like about, doesn't matter, she's a woman. In football, it's a heavily male-orientated sport, and you have to be a bit bitchy, if I can say that. You have to be a bit sort of firm. You have to be a strong person to be able to succeed, and she has succeeded in the sport.
There's a difference,
though.
There
aren't many women in that position in our sport.
I agree,
and she has done really well to get herself in that position.
I agree with that, and I agree. Yeah, you're right. You know, it is tough in many aspects of life and in many jobs. Yeah, it's harder for women, and yeah, they do need to be strong. And there's a difference between being strong and firm and confident and being an egotistical maniac. There's a difference. There's a line. Do you know what I mean? She crosses that line.
Give me an example. A quote. Give me an actual quote.
Well, I'd have to go and find you a quote, wouldn't I? But well, all right, there
give you
you
an
go.
example.
I'll give you a quote straight away. The most successful stadium migration in history.
Yeah, but if she's pulling out specific facts, then she's not just saying that, is she?
Where's the
Regardless
fact?
of all the things. No,
But it's
we
not
all
true.
know there's problems. No, we all know there's problems, but she must have facts. That what she's doing, she's took a certain number of facts like that, and she's took them all, and she said, right, with those facts I've got in my hand, I can now say. Politicians do it all the time. What they do is they get a number of facts, and they'll say, this is what I've got. What I've got in the palm of my hand now is more successful than Arsenal and Coventry, than all the others that have done, Sunderland, all the others that have done recently. So from that group of facts I have in my hand, from things like number of seats that were moved across, people in a like-for-like seat, I don't know, I'm giving examples, but from that she's a businesswoman, she wouldn't come out and say, with no proof whatsoever, I'm saying this is the most successful move ever in the history of football. She won't do that. She has to have some hard facts to back it up, and I guarantee she will.
You're after a job, mate. What's going on?
Welcome back, Lee.
No, listen.
We had no arguments for 2 weeks.
I will go and find some Karen Brady quotes for you. Yeah, I don't watch The Apprentice, right? I don't watch that at all. But so I don't know how true this is or not. I'm just saying it's an example. But apparently she's a nasty piece of work on there as well. I don't know if you watch it. I don't know if you watch it. But
I don't watch it. No, I don't watch it.
so it's not like she's just some angel being targeted by these horrible West Ham fans. Do you know what I mean?
I invite Lee to have this show again, maybe in 5 years' time, when the club's been sold and Karen's had her article in the paper and slagged West Ham down to the ground.
Yeah, but it's like the Frank Lampard thing again, isn't it? I mean, he's never gonna.
But if
you keep
slag
pushing
off,
someone, eventually they're going to push back. Okay,
No,
so
no,
on every day of the week, if you're getting messages that say, Karen Brady, you're a whore. Let's look at this. Is a mum. This is a wife. Okay, this is someone. And you I don't know why you're smoking.
Been called worse, mate.
About the overriding point I'm trying to make is, yes, she's made mistakes. Okay, and I completely agree with you 100% that she's made mistakes. But we all make mistakes in life. Every single one. Not one of us is perfect. We all make mistakes, and we all have to stand up to those mistakes. But what no one deserves, unless that mistake is, I don't know, doing an ungodly crime or, something that's out. She hasn't done the thing. It's kind of perspective, I guess. The things that she's being called is the things that people should call Jimmy Savile. You see what I'm trying to say?
No, I understand. But you just said there, that, people make mistakes and, people have to stand up for their mistakes. When have you ever heard Karen Brady admit to making a mistake and say,
yeah, but
I got this wrong? No. She would never do that. Never. And like I say, there's a difference between being a strong, firm person in business and being completely egotistical, thinking the sun shines out your ass, can't do no wrong, I'm the best in the world at what I do, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. Blaming the fans, blaming people standing. It's. I'm going to find things that she's said, but it's the attitude and the demeanour and the fact that she's never come out and said, "Okay, hold my hands up, I got this wrong."
As you say, surely part of being successful and achieving is being able to, being a strong woman is being able to admit you're wrong as well. No.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not saying that. I'm not
defending Lee. Like what you're saying is agreed. Like in the real world, you should not say that to a woman. A man should not have that. But she's living in a football culture. Like with no disrespect to any fan out there, there are a lot of divs out there in the football world that support West Ham, Stoke, Norwich, any football club. You put yourself in that culture, that world. You've got to expect it. It's something that
and the thing is as well is you can't.
I think you expect a bit, but I don't think you expect someone putting something out along the lines of retweet if Karen Brady's a whore.
Listen, it doesn't matter if you expect it or you deserve it or not. That's life. It's going to happen. I just want to make this clear, right? I've never said anything like that to Karen Brady or to anybody else in real life.
No, I don't think.
I've never done that. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that kind of person. But it's the same as us being on YouTube, and any other YouTubers will know this as well. When you're putting yourself in that public space and you're putting yourself on that platform, people are going to say nasty things about you. You can't just say, "Oh, you shouldn't say that." Oh, I need to be in I need to be in my safe little bubble and be protected from the world. No, that's not how it works. So people are going to say nasty things. That's the way it is, you know.
But there's saying nasty things, and then all I'm saying is people just need to have a bit of perspective. What she's done is she's cocked up a few aspects of a stadium move.
She could have completely destroyed the club. There's a difference between.
I think there's been a massive overreaction.
Well, it depends what happens in the next couple of years, doesn't it? What happens if we get relegated this year?
It ain't the stadium's fault.
It's the club's fault. What happens if we get relegated this year and then all of a sudden... No, but it's a snowball effect. We get relegated this year, the worst thing happens, all them 50,000 season ticket holders on the waiting list disappear. We're taking 20,000 people into that stadium each week. All of a sudden the numbers ain't there. The atmosphere is worse. It becomes poisonous, even worse than it is now. Then we've got no chance of attracting sponsors and you just end up spiralling. Whereas when we went down to the championship in the Boleyn, we still kept the crowds. We still had a decent crowd. You know, we still had a decent atmosphere to get behind the team to help push them. You imagine what that'd be like in the Olympic Stadium? It'd be an absolute nightmare.
But that's not her fault.
It is her fault because she put us in there.
So it's not. We've had a bad start to the season because we've been crap at football.
Yeah,
we haven't had a bad start to the season because we're in a
players. I know that's not her fault either. But
yeah, the reason we've had a crap start is because after players haven't turned up, they haven't played at the level as they did last season.
I agree with that. Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
it's got nothing to do with the stadium. Nothing whatsoever to do with the stadium.
Our performance doesn't have anything to do with the stadium, but if our performances get worse, what happens down the line could have a lot to do with the stadium. Like I say, with general atmosphere and people coming back through bad times, that kind of stuff. You know, then you have to look and say, was it the right thing to do? Was it the right thing to put us in that stadium?
Well, I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I support West Ham, whether Upton Park or in the Olympic Stadium, whether in League One or
absolutely.
League.
All of us would. All three of us would.
Yeah,
and I imagine most people watching this would as well, you know. I'm not disputing that.
I've seen things over the last week that people saying, I'm too embarrassed to put on a West Ham shirt at the moment.
No.
That's what I've seen in the last week.
No, that is nonsense, you know. And then people, well, if you're embarrassed to put on a shirt when we're not doing well, you shouldn't be wearing a shirt when we are doing well, you know what I mean?
And I'm not just making it up. If you go on Facebook, West Ham put out an advert. It said something like free shirt printing for the weekend. And if you read the comments in there, there's about 4 or 5 people that say, I wouldn't wear one of them at the moment if you paid me. I'm too embarrassed to wear that shirt out in public at the moment, blah, 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 blah. And so there are people that would walk away at a drop of a hat like that.
Exactly,
I know they are.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
The thing is with football is results, though, Lee. When we start winning again, all this goes away.
Well, no, and we've said this, haven't we? We've said this in the past.
None of this would ever be
this season like Tottenham. We said this in the past, didn't we? If we have had an unbeaten start to the season, that stadium would be perfect. It would be brilliant. It would. The only if you remember back to the Watford game, that fighting when we were 2-0 up. That was the one that caught most of the public's imagination. Oh my word! It's learning another language. I've lost this one. It caught the newspapers and things, didn't it? The Watford one. That was sort of the catalyst for it all, if you like. And nothing was happening when we was 2-0 down. It was when it was 2-2, 3-2, 4-2. That's when all the rubbish started. So 100% agree. And we've said it before in this show that, results do play a major factor in all this. But going back to my original point, I just wish people would show a bit of perspective. Cohen Brady hasn't murdered anyone. But some would argue she's murdered the club, I guess. I'm going to ask her to come back to us. But she hasn't murdered anyone.
The comments this week.
So, yeah, I know. All I'm saying is no one deserves something like that. And if anyone, I'm quite sort of thin-skinned, so don't say things about me either. Someone like it.
I know. As I said, I feel like, you know, if you put yourself on that platform, it's going to happen, whether you think you deserve it or not. If someone walked up to her in the street and punched her in the face, yeah, that's different. That's different. Someone leaving messages on Twitter, who cares? Who cares? Why so precious?
Why can't we be a bit classier? That's what I'm saying. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Let's show a bit of class, eh?
All right.
Yeah.
West Ham got a bad enough reputation as it is at the moment. Doesn't need things like that going out on the internet. I mean, it's just have a bit of class. Come on.
Yeah. Let's move on from that.
I'm making up for not talking for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's 2 weeks worth of talking there. What was I going to say? So, yeah, Lee, it's the international break at the moment. So, obviously, we didn't mention it last week with Jay. I was quite disappointed that when the show finished, it come to me. It was like, I didn't mention Cresswell. But, yes, West Ham do have another England international. We played just over 12 minutes, but he got absolutely slated by some of the press by saying that, well done, Aaron Cresswell, you won't be playing for England ever again. Your opinions, guys? I didn't really catch the game, to be honest. It was just stuff that I read in the paper the next day.
I watched it on the hope that he'd play, and he came on, which was good. So yeah, brilliant that he's coming, and it's well deserved. Sort of should have come a couple of years ago, in my opinion, when he was in his first season. He was fantastic. Yeah, done really well. Don't think he's going to be regular because I think Bertrand is above him in the pecking order. Depends who gets the job. If it's going to be Southgate, we don't know. Both their goals came down his side, which I think is where the stuff. But I wouldn't say he was at fault. I mean, he sort of got caught upfield for the first one. But again, it was Marcus Rashford that gave the ball away. Cresswell didn't.
I think the fullback position is a very hard position to come on, especially late in a game. You know, that position you need to feel your way into the game and be calm and collected. Like when you're coming on attacking, you know what you got to do. You just got to go bomb, bomb, bomb.
And you can hide as well, can't you? Like coming on as a striker, you can just sort of, you're not in the spotlight, are you, as much, I guess?
Yeah. So it's quite a hard position to come on in any defensive position. I think it's quite a hard position to come in.
The thing that frustrates me, and I know we've mentioned this before, it was a meaningless friendly. And I know Southgate's sort of auditioning for the job, if you like, but why not start him? Why not give him a go from the start? Yeah. What has he got? What has he learned from playing Danny Rose?
Well, the first game as well, Lee, I think you even said it. 2 goalkeepers on the bench, and Cresswell didn't even make the bench. What's that?
I know, that was a joke.
What's that about?
Yeah, it was very, very strange. Considering that Bertrand hadn't trained either, leading up to the match, it was all very strange. But as I say, fantastic that he got the cap, and I don't think the goals were his fault really. And let's hope he gets a couple more in there. I mean, the good thing was I actually didn't want him to come on when he got to 12 minutes. Don't come on yet, because the more tired Rose is, and we'll get onto it in a bit, is the better for us on Saturday, hopefully.
Yeah. On other internationals, I noticed that Demi scored again for France the other night. Just carrying on, fantastic record for them at the moment. He really is. And Randolph got some rave reviews, I believe, for Ireland. So yeah, there's some few positives from the international breaks, but less said about it the better because.
What's his face got more minutes as well, didn't he? Ayew, he captained Ghana, so
it's good to see. Yeah, it's good to see.
Before we do the preview, guys, let's talk. We do it every week. Just touch on any sort of little transfer spat-ins or any like little news that's been out there. Sort of half confirmed really that Zaza, Cagliari and Gokantor will be going in January, which they reckon will free up around 120 grand a week. Good thing, I think.
Yeah, I as I've said before, I've sat pretty much every week. I think it's a shame with Cagliari. I think he should have been given a bit more time. I know the majority of West Ham fans disagree with me, so fair enough. Could just be me being completely wrong on that one. But as far as Toure and Zaza go, it hasn't worked out. So it's not going to work out from now either, especially Zaza with that clause hanging over him. So yeah, no, definitely it's good. Move on and try again, basically.
Yeah,
I'm not being purposely obtuse today, but and this isn't going to be a popular comment either. Has Toure had a fair crack?
He's not, but he is well overweight. We bought an overweight player.
And I think... Sorry, go on, Luke. No, sorry.
No, go on.
I was just going to say...
about overweight and stuff.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem isn't even his performance. It's the fact that we just don't need him. Like, we obviously signed him with the idea of... We thought we were going to be playing in Europe, you know.
Well, how many right wingers have we got?
Yeah, we don't need him. You know, we've got Antonio. Obviously, we've got Faguli, who we signed permanently, whereas Toure is just on loan. So, yeah, I think he's just surplus as well as the fact he hasn't come in and set the world on fire. I don't think we need him. So that's why...
And in the current system, wingers don't really fit, do they?
Yeah.
No, you've got to play that wing-back position, yeah. Some news on ins. Again, we touched on it last week. I'd like to get Lee's opinion. Daniel Sturridge, Lee, any chance?
I don't think it would happen. I think he's too egotistical.
But would you like to see it if we could?
Oh, I'd love to see Daniel Sturridge at West Ham. I think he's a great player. I don't like him personally. I don't like his attitude, and I think he's incredibly greedy.
But I think that's what you need.
Maybe that's exactly what I was about to say. I think that's maybe what we need. He's a player not off to shoot.
Someone made an interesting comment last week's podcast, actually. I can't remember who it was. If it was you, leave a comment, saying that, because I said about a greedy player last week and that we need someone like that. And they was touching on the fact that Zarate was a very greedy player. But can we be honest? Zarate and Daniel Sturridge is a completely different level.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot depends on the money. You know, if you're getting him in on loan to the end of the season and he's got a point to prove, great. But, I mean, the goal he scored for England the other day was a really good header and he's got it in his locker. But it's just,
I'd like to take him on loan.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to pay money for him, I don't think.
We wouldn't.
But then you sort of, one of the biggest gripes everyone's got at the moment is the amount of loan signings we got in the summer, and the players and the owners weren't putting their hand in their pocket. I know there's loan fees and things, but so I don't know if people who accept another loan deal. It's hard, isn't it? Because
the loan allows you to have a look. I totally agree with the Zaza one that the 14 games has killed him. Totally. But it's nice to have a look at a player first. But don't do this 14 game buy it. Like, have the whole season to buy. Like Lanzini did the job. Yeah, some people are slating him at the moment, but he was fantastic last year.
Like Andy Carroll, we didn't have a right to buy him, did we? We had to negotiate once the deal was over.
Yeah.
So and he kind of did the business, didn't he, in that first? But
Well, at the end of that season, fans were clamouring to sign him, me included. You know, as much as I'm not Andy's biggest fan, after that season, yeah, absolutely. You know, everyone wanted to see him sign. So,
yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with Luke completely there. Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's no way. I mean, what's he going to cost to buy Daniel Sturridge?
28 million. That sort of figure. 20
wages and all, isn't it?
Mid-20s. Yeah, like you said, wages. I can't see the owners sticking their hands in their pocket for that amount of money for an injury-prone striker. No, I think if we have any chance at all of getting him, it will be a loan.
Yeah, I think it's make or break this transfer window. You know, in terms of a striker.
I do.
It's been a long.
Because it'd be very interesting, like you say, if Zaza goes, Calieri goes, probably a very good chance that Sacco will go as well. Who's there?
Yeah.
Who's there?
You got Carroll.
Yeah,
that's it.
And Fletcher. You're going to rely on a 21-year-old guy to score goals. I like Fletcher. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a fantastic asset, but not yet. Fabregas Lee. Obviously, he come up last week.
Wow. You forget he's only 29, didn't you? Because I sort of thought he was older than that, but I was reading it, and 29.
Yeah.
Wow. And sort of being turfed away by Chelsea.
Apparently, very good chance it will happen. 6-5 now on the betting odds. I know you can't read into betting, but 6-5 he is actually to join West Ham.
If what happened in America last week showed us, I don't believe anything that happened in polls or betting or anything like that anymore. That's all out the window. It would be fantastic, obviously, if it happened. And
do we need him? That was something we discussed last week. Do we need him?
At the moment, is anyone's place safe? Has anyone
said that apart from Obiang?
Possibly. For me, everyone's going on about how bad Noble is. For me, Fabregas is a natural replacement. So,
but then what about Fernandes though?
Yeah,
because we'll probably go into that next. We'll probably go into that next topic. But yeah, Fernandes surely is. Let's just touch it quickly before we really touch into the Spurs game. Is this Fernandes' big moment? If Slav plays him there in midfield on Saturday, and he puts in a great performance, is that his chance to kick Mark out of the team?
I hope so.
I think Norvate will play. We'll get onto it in a bit.
I really hope so. I really hope not, man.
Just what I think.
Okay, we'll discuss that in a minute anyway. I don't want to go too much into it. Other rumours, guys, Frank Lampard, favourite, 5-1 to join West Ham?
Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, right, yeah.
Put a tweet up.
There's no way.
Have a look back at the... Paul put a link in, innit? The one we had in the summer where it was all in the same house. We had a good chat about Frank Lampard.
That's right. Yeah, I will. I'll link that. But no.
Yeah, but he said I would have him back.
Even if we were interested, Frank Lampard ain't. He's not coming back to West Ham. There's absolutely no way. No way. No.
Other rumours, guys. Oxford. Apparently very close now to actually sign the deal. Not bad, is it? Played 4 games, 20 grand a week.
It's fantastic news, though. Fantastic news.
It is fantastic news. It is, but it just shows the way football is going. It's an absolute joke. The guy's played 5-6 games for us and 20 grand a week.
But
20 grand a week.
He needs to step up big time.
The thing is,
but as given the opportunity,
he's a player in demand, obviously. Because if he wasn't, we wouldn't have given him the contract.
No.
So if you've got a young promising player who's in demand and you want to keep hold of him these days, you've got to stump up and pay the money. I don't know why he hasn't been given more chances this season. I wish he had been.
He can't do any worse. That's what we were saying last week, when he can't do any worse than what we've seen.
I think maybe with Slav, I don't, obviously we don't know, do we? We don't know. But maybe he was thinking with the whole contract thing, would his head be right, blah, blah, blah. Now he signed it.
Maybe if he signs, he might put him in. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. Any other news in terms of transfers? Ivanovic apparently linked with Barcelona now, so I don't think he'll be coming to West Ham now. What was his Qatari?
Cole Jenkinson.
Oh yes, Carl Jenkinson. Apparently, good chance he may come back as well. I'd take him.
Yeah.
It's a right back. Just what we need. We need a right back.
And he's a good player as well. He's a good player. You know, we've seen it.
Do you know, when we first started doing this podcast is when the start of last season, wasn't it? And he was shocking when he Jenkins at the start of the season. But he hadn't had a pre-season. He'd gone off with England on the 21s, played in the championships, had a very short holiday, come back, played in a couple of the European matches, I think. Can't remember exactly for sure. But he had a really slow start, got himself sent off, his head weren't right, blah, 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 got injured. Disappeared, didn't see him again. I think the player we had in the first season is the player that will probably be signing, I hope, if it happens. Thing is, though, Bellerin's just got injured, isn't he? So he's probably going to bumped up. But only for 4 weeks. Interestingly, that means that Bellerin's out when they play us, so Jenkinson will probably play in that match against us.
Yeah, there was another weird little rumour today about Qatar looking to buy someone. I just want to touch on it. It's probably a load of like codswallop, but they're looking to a Premier League club. They're looking to buy. West Ham are obviously the obvious favourites because of the London base, and they would be willing to pay £1 billion just to buy the stadium outright as well.
Do we know who? Because
it's some Qatari-based thing because they want to do it leading up to the World Cup. There, when is it? 2020, the World Cup.
2022.
Yeah, something like that. And they would like to have a British club, so sort of like they can use it to sort of publicise the World Cup and all that stuff. Your opinions, guys, if it was true, coming in quickly, hurry up, get that deal done.
Yeah, I hope it is true.
I don't think it is.
It could well be, it could well be true. I really hope it is true. If it is true, I hope they're ready to stick some serious money into the club. And they have obviously got serious money. It'd be great to see the stadium bought outright and done properly. I'd love to see that happen.
I'd like to see that.
Can I make one quick sentence on this whole thing? If people think we lack an identity now,
well, I don't care. I really don't care.
No, but people do. No, that's your opinion.
Some people do. Yeah, some people do.
Yeah,
people
but
feel very strongly about that.
What identity? Like what? I don't understand. What identity is there to lose?
Well, West Ham are now to be in a working man's club, aren't we? We're meant to be sort of club of the people, family club, if you like. People are saying that's already disappearing. Is that they're trying to get this culture of getting the working man out of the club? Blah 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 blah. I don't buy it personally, but people are entitled to their opinion, obviously. And people think that culture, the whole history of West Ham United is being pulled apart. If I think that's happening now, you get foreign investors in there who have absolutely no feelings towards football. It's not the right word. No attachment to the club. No feelings towards football. Just Man City do not have an identity anymore. Chelsea do not have an identity anymore.
I don't.
They are known. Chelsea is known for Roman Abramovich.
I think Man City fans would disagree with you there. I do. I don't think Man City fans would say that. I don't think they'd say that their more working class fans have been pushed out of the club.
No, that's our identity. I don't know. Theirs is.
Yeah, but
it's a very poor part of Manchester, isn't it?
Like rivals with Manchester United, who were obviously the big boys. They were always in their shadow back then, obviously before they had the money, and now they've been given a chance to compete. I don't see why that's a bad thing.
Do you know, look, we used to say this as well growing up, and I don't know if you still feel this way, but I kind of do. And one of the things about supporting West Ham is the not knowing. In school, we used to have a lot of Man United fans who weren't Man United fans, but said they were. And they used to win every week. And you never used to. With West Ham, you sort of go in, and that's what I kind of like about supporting West Ham. It's the unknown and the excitement. And I don't want that taken away. And if someone's going to come in and pump billions of pounds into the club, which let's face it, last time we got bought out by a millionaire, it went tits up massively.
Yeah.
So it's not a guarantee for success, is it? Oh, that's interesting. Actually, he came out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He popped out from his biscuit tin. I don't know what the hell he's been like 5 years. I'd lose concentration.
I see some comments on this, right? Because this article was posted on Facebook, and there were some people, like you say, Lee, like saying, "Oh, I'd rather not win anything and just carry on the way we are and not lose our identity than have this happen." It's like, as a West Ham fan, yes, I agree with the love to see us develop it, live the dream, like this youth team that comes up and is fantastic. But are you telling me you don't want us to go on and spend loads of money and compete?
Joe, in an ideal world,
I want to see us in Champions League.
Yeah, the ideal world is we do it, let's say the right way. Let's say we do it like Man United did for 10 years. I know they did spend money, I know, but the basis of their team was a youth. That's kind of what I'd like to see, is that we've got a good youth team at the moment, and I don't want them to be completely discarded.
I agree completely with that.
No, I agree with that. I don't like seeing youth suffer. And like you say, Lee, with Manchester City, where you get your Jack Redwells, your Fabian Delphs, who are good players, whose career's just gone like that, because they're just bought so other teams don't buy them.
They do it, and Chelsea did that when Abramovich first took over as well. They had a habit of just buying and sort of stockpiling players, if you like.
Chelsea actually have something like a record of something ridiculous, like 150 players on loan.
No, it's not. There's a lot. It's not that many. It's like 40.
I don't think it's quite that high, but it is high.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous number. And these are just kids that they don't want other clubs to have. So they just go on, off you go. There's a guy, I think it's at Gillingham. Is his name Tammy or something?
Oh, Bristol City. Tammy Abraham. Bristol City.
Tammy Abraham, yeah. And he's linked with West Ham. And, it's another guy. He's just a fantastic player, but Chelsea don't want no one else to have him. So they'll have him and loan him out.
No, obviously we don't want to see that happen, but I think the thing as well is a lot of people are saying, oh, we want to stay as we are, we don't lose our identity. I think a lot of those people will probably be from an older generation. But the thing is they've seen us win things. They've had success.
In a time when it was like that, where players stayed at the club and you did develop your kids, and that was just all you had, because there was no money.
They've had that. They've had those glory days. We've never had that. We've never had any success as West Ham fans, And it might be selfish and greedy, but I want some of that. I want to taste that.
No, I want that. I want that, yeah.
Can you imagine the likes of West Ham United competing against the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid?
Well, look at Leicester.
Well, yeah, but we would all love to do the Leicester League. Yeah. Again,
I'm not disagreeing.
Leicester's dream, but
because I did that top 5 happiest moments video, which actually were just top 5 good moments, because there haven't been that many happy moments in our lifetime. And I said at the end of it, I'd give anything to see us win a trophy.
And how sad is that, Lee, that in the top 10 moments of your life as a West Ham fan, there is no trophy, that you had to pluck out games.
And 2 of them, I think, were us saving ourselves from relegation. Only one of them, 2. It just says everything you need to know. And anyone born after 1980 is in the same boat as we are. And I've said this before, and I will give anything. And someone asked me the other day, is that we play Man United twice in the week. Which one do you want to win? The cup. 100% the cup. 100% to beat them in the cup and get to the semi-final. 100%.
100%.
And look, even though it's only the League Cup, to see us win at Wembley, that taste we got in the playoffs, it was fantastic in the final.
Yeah.
And this why I can't understand. And I know it's a week there. I can't understand whether we haven't sold 7,000 tickets for that game. I just don't understand it.
It's on telly as well, though. It's on telly.
I know it's on telly and people have work, but to be there, like, look, you were there as well with me at Old Trafford when we beat them in the, like, that is an experience. That's not the same watching it on telly. I'm sorry, being there that day when Di Canio scored. Say you was there. Why would you not want to put the day off work if you can? I know teachers can't and things like that, and I know there's things that people can't, but sorry.
See, the thing as well, I think, is like, look at this season, or last season, really, and look how amazing it's been to watch Dimitri Payet play at West Ham, and the fact that West Ham have got a truly world-class player at the moment, currently one of the best players in the world. It's been amazing, and all we're thinking about is, when's he going to leave? Where's he going to go?
Yeah, I don't want that anymore. That's
exactly. You wouldn't get that if you had that investment. You'd get more players like that, and you'd be able to hold on to them, and you'd be able to go and enjoy watching the best players in the world play at West Ham United in the kit.
And the best kids will want to come to you. It's all that. Yeah, I
but even like the best clubs, like Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, are like, they've got David De Gea on a string like that. So close to losing him every transfer window to Real Madrid.
Yeah, but that's different, though, because Real Madrid and Barca are your, like, totally different level. Like, any player in the world want to play for them too.
Well, you would have said that Man United would have been on that level a few years ago, but they're not anymore.
Yeah. But then even then, if Real Madrid and Barca come in for you, I think that's just a different level.
And De Gea's Spanish as well, which plays into it. Don't forget they just signed the most expensive player in the world.
Yeah.
I don't think he was worth it, but they did it. So.
Yeah, moving on because we haven't got much time. Like this week, guys, there's no preview from me because it's the biggest game of the year, and it's nice to get the opinions of all the boys. West Ham Tottenham, nice quiet one, soft game. God knows why they've put this game at 5:30 on a Saturday. There's going to be some trouble. I don't know why.
I'm absolutely delighted that's what time it's on, because it means I'll get to watch it.
It is the most ridiculous decision, and I just hope there isn't blood on BT Sports' hands. I really hope there isn't, because it is the most ridiculous decision to put that game. Last ever time we play them at White Hart Lane. 1, 2, 5:30 on a Saturday. Sunday you can kind of get it. People aren't as rowdy and boozy on a Sunday. Saturday 5:30 in the evening. Already all the history with it. There's always trouble at this fixture. And also, when they came to Upton Park, there was trouble when they played us the last time at our place. It is a stupid idea, the most ridiculous idea, and whoever they should be sacked. Seriously, whoever put this game on at 5:30 should be sacked. It is a disgraceful idea. I'm going, and I look forward to going, obviously, but it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Makes me angry actually that the TV had that much control that.
No, I do agree. I think it's a stupid time to have West Ham Tottenham. Like, it's great. Like, the fans will love it. Like, being able to get drunk and go. But I think it's a very, very stupid idea. Let's go in their current form. They've not lost. They've not lost in the league. They've drawn their last 4. Is it? Drawn their last 4. I think they're starting to get a mentality of not wanting to lose rather than win. I think they're more obsessed with keeping that undefeated record than they are of actually going on and winning, trying to win a game now. Your opinion?
Have you seen their injury list? Hang on, I'm just trying to pull it up.
Yeah, I saw that earlier, yeah. Ericsson, Jansen.
I can't find it. Yeah, there's a lot.
Walker, was he out as well?
Who, sorry?
Kyle Walker, is he out or is he?
Ali.
Oh, here we go. I've got the list here. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is what it said. Ericsson, Alderweireld, Jansen, Lamela, Wanyama, Davis, Dembele, Ali.
There you go, yeah.
Some big players.
Apparently ruled out. We don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah. Harry Kane in the Arsenal game, he was blowing after about 55 minutes. He's not fully fit yet. Don't get me wrong, the geezer's going to score against us 100,000,000%. That's another Lukaku one, that is. Put your ass on that. Looking at last season, as I always do, as you say, you touched on it. Paul, your last ever game at Upton Park, amazing night. Amazing. One of the best nights of football ever. We did beat them. Tony over the goal. Just fantastic. I think that was the game that all of us as West Ham fans were sweating, weren't we, last year, that we have to win that one. Game at White Hart Lane last year.
4-1.
Well, was it the 4-1 game?
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was the season before, weren't it, when he got the penalty late, Harry Kane. Yeah, so 4-1, we got absolutely tucked in last season.
2 early goals did us, really. 2-0 down before it even started, really. And then great goal Lanzini at the end when it was.
Yes, I do remember that.
But
yes, we don't want another repeat of that.
Do you know, I stayed to the end of that match, and there was only about 200 West Ham fans left at the end, and I stayed, and it was just dreadful hearing the Tottenham fans.
To be fair, again, I hate Tottenham, but they owed us one, didn't they? Because we'd had quite a good record against them for the previous few years.
What was interesting after that game, Bilic come out and said that won't happen again, and it didn't really, did it, that season?
No. What do you make of their manager? I think he's a fantastic manager, Pochettino. I think he's a very, very good manager. Future
Barcelona or Real Madrid manager, I think.
Yeah, they were sniffing, weren't they?
Yeah.
Some will say that they lost their heads last year, maybe bottled it a little bit in the title race, but I think they had a very young team.
I think they'll be up there again this year. Well, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I don't think they really strengthened that much. Maybe they didn't need to, because it is a young side. They didn't really need to strengthen, but we'll see.
Who did they buy?
They've got Jansen, who hasn't really done it. He's got a lot of penalties. And Wanyama, who's a dirty player. Don't like him.
Very strong 11, but not much after that, really, is it?
We'll see that. We'll see on Saturday, won't we, what the sort of side they put out. And great opportunity. If that injury list is true, great opportunity to get a victory.
I think we'll beat them. I think we will.
Really?
Yeah, really, honestly.
Draw. I think I'm more confident of a draw. I'm not going to put us to lose this week. I do think we'll draw. Let's look at us then, guys. Is there a call for Randolph to start? starting if we're starting in goal?
Not for me.
Not for you, no?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I think the international break's probably done Adrian some favours. The fact that the mistakes are now out of mind a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I think that's probably done him a break, and yeah, I'm sure Adrian will start, but he needs to be on his toes.
For us, there's some good news as well. There's Sacco training again. I don't know whether Andy Carroll is. I can't remember whether I read that or not. Ayew will be that slightly bit fitter again. There's no Mark Noble, so there's a chance for, as I say, we said earlier, Fernandes to step up. What sort of formation do you think we're going to be playing? Will he be forced into a bit of a change of formation? Is Winston Reid supposed to be back as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Reid will come in for Collins. And, yeah, I can't see him changing much else really.
No.
No.
Really, the question is who comes in for Noble.
I'd love to see Fernandes. I really, really would love to see him play in his midfield position. He's been a fantastic little player since he's come in.
I think it might be not just my own opinion. I've got no sort of proof.
Who's playing up front then?
I'd throw Sacco in.
By himself again?
I really would throw Sacco in.
Straight in, yeah. I'd throw Sacco straight in.
We're paying his wages. Play him.
I'd throw him straight in. Yeah, straight in.
He does things for us that.
Is there maybe a call to go Ayew and Sacco?
I was going to say
Ayew up front of his own didn't work against Stoke. Did not work.
Ayew and who? Sorry? Oh no, Ayew up front of his own. No, that's not going to
work.
No.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, if Ayew, where does Ayew fit in to this team? Is that a record signing? So he's going to fit in somewhere.
I think you got to play him from the left. I really think you got to play him.
But then he can't play him from the left because that's Paye's position.
Or the right, or
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's a left-sided forward. That's where he should be playing. But he can't play there because it's Paye's position. It's madness to sign him. I think the only reason, and the fact that we signed him for a record fee as well, part of me thinks he was signed thinking that Paye was leaving.
Maybe.
Because it's a strange one. I don't know why they spent...
of desperation. Scream of desperation.
Why they spent that much money on someone who, we've currently got a player like that playing in his position. I don't know. It's strange.
Sort of predictions then, guys, because I don't really go into much more detail than that. Sort of the previous games, managers, lineups, previous form. I think 2-2. I think Sacco's going to score as well. If he's on the bench, I think he'll come on and I think he will score.
Lee?
Heart says we'll get a point, but Head says we could get a bit of a spanking.
I'm going to go mental and say we're going to win 2-0. I'm going to put money on that and probably win a fortune. Huh? Yeah, no. I reckon this game is going to turn our season round.
It would be great if it does.
For this run, if we don't get any points at the next 5 games, then
we're in trouble.
Yeah,
big trouble. We're in big trouble. Yeah.
It is interesting though, is that we're only. I think I'm not again. I've been sort of off the radar a bit lately, but last time I checked, we're only 3 points behind Southampton. We've had a good start to the season.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you win a couple, you're right there. But if you lose that, could well be bottom at Christmas. We could. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Questions very, very quickly. Let's just bang them out. Man like Lanzini, if we could get someone like Sturridge in January, can it transform our season? Yes, 100 million%. If we got someone like him in and he's fit, he is ruthless.
Yeah, definitely got the potential to. Yeah, sorry, Lee.
No, so I'm not going to say it. Sorry.
Okay. Melaman Nathan, I think that's how you pronounce it. How do you feel about the idea of a breakaway club? We sort of half touched on that. No. It's West Ham United. We've not changed our name. We've not moved to a completely new city. We're just literally 20 minutes up the road from Upton Park. How sad was it, guys, actually, to see those pictures that were released yesterday? East Stand coming down. Really, then I think it hits home that, no, we're not going back. There is no way back.
It doesn't help though, does it, either? Because it sort of makes people angrier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of anger at the moment. And I know they're going to be shown, and it is sad. It's incredibly sad. It is. It's heartbreaking, but it doesn't help.
Yeah. SB. I do love SB's questions. He comes up with some blinders. Who would you guys miss more if they didn't appear on the show? So, Paul, would you miss me or Lee? Would I miss Lee or Paul? And Lee, who would you miss?
I was devastated when Lee weren't here last week and the week before. I was heartbroken. Just pleased to have him back.
Culture in the show, like it was that cultured, like educated part of the show.
Yeah. So, see, the thing is though, if I weren't here, there wouldn't be a show because I'm the one who records it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've got to say Paul because he does the recording.
Yeah. If Paul wasn't here, we'd have no one doing the editing and the graphics. Yeah. Also, he says, which team not named West Ham has the best kit in your opinion?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
You know, for like, I don't like the club, but for class, Real Madrid, it just looks like.
Oh yeah, it's right out.
Shivers. It looks like it like shines off their body when they wear that. It's not even white, is it? It's sort of a
like pale.
Yeah, it is. I do like it. I don't like Real Madrid, but I like the kit. It's classy.
I would never ever wear another English team's kit, but I do have a few, foreign teams' kits. Juventus, Lazio, Barcelona, some lovely kits out there. See, what I always think of with that question is FIFA. See, FIFA, I'm sure, and loads of people play FIFA and Ultimate Team. There are some really, really nice kits. The kit I'm using at the minute is lovely. I don't know the team though. I think it's a Polish team, and it's a white kit, and it's got like blue mountains. It's amazing. Like I love that part of the game because you can see so many kits you wouldn't necessarily see. There's some gorgeous kits out there.
In terms of not club teams, like I don't think you can look further than the Brazil shirt. It's a classic. That yellow and green just screams football. Yeah. I've always liked the Holland kit as well. I've always liked that orange, and obviously I do love the France shirt as well.
France have had some lovely shirts recently.
Yeah, France was a lovely shirt.
I like the away one with like the cause that's my away kit on FIFA at the moment. It's got the flag on the shoulders.
Oh yeah, the white and red. Yeah, the red, blue, white. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely shirt. Yeah. Andy Smith, could Nolan and Cole training with us have a positive impact? Or should we put all our attention on our current squad? So I think what he's basically saying is having these characters back, like your Coltons and your Kevs. Could it have a positive impact?
Kevin Nolan, 100%, I think. I mean, the guy he's a good person to have around. And we've said this before a million times. Great for the dressing room, not great on the pitch. But, I mean, it can't do any harm. I mean, it's not like he's training with the first team to get in the team. We're not going to sign him, or bloody hope we're not anyway. Could you imagine?
I'd have Colton. I thought I'd have anything in him. I'd have Bumwalted back.
I don't know.
Savio.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's nice that, see, this is what I'm saying about, it's nice, isn't it, that we're letting these ex-players train with us. It's a nice thing. And that's what West Ham are about.
I'm getting this. They're not legends. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are just players that have had a bit of character around the club. Like, it's different. Like at Chelsea, we're going to welcome back Frank Lampard. John Terry's got a place. They're absolute legends. Like, you can understand that. But, to be able to do that to any player. I think even Matthew Everton, was it a couple of years ago, he come back and he was training with us for a little bit. It's nice that it shows, like you say, Lee, that the players feel like probably one of the first clubs they've run like, West Ham, is it okay if I come down and train with you?
There's a lot of... there was somebody else, I can't think who it was now. There's been a few players of other teams that have been training with us as well, I've seen, and it's led to rumours, we're going to sign this player. But we do seem to be a club that's very open to that, so that is a good thing.
Last question from Miss Stacey. Do you think the club should be working with the fan channels instead of working against them? So she's basically saying like channels like our own and West Ham Fan TV and Jay. Should the club sort of, be sort of helping us?
It's interesting that she says work against them. I don't think the club's ever done anything to work against the channels. And the fact that we've had both Jack and Dave Sullivan on the channel, I couldn't fault them for that,
I must say I interpreted that question differently. I thought she meant like, should they be working with the fans to resolve the current issues rather than, I read channel as in like...
Rather than YouTube channels, you mean channels, yeah.
Yeah, it could be read both ways. Yeah.
So from that
Yeah,
perspective, they are doing that because they've got the fan forums and things, and they've been quite successful from what I've seen. So that's good. But yeah, I suppose there is more. They've got that new phone number now, which is good. That's they got rid of the premium rate number, so that's one thing. Fans asked for it and it happened. Can't fault them for that.
What do you think about in terms of YouTube then? Like, yeah, I totally agree with Paul. Like Dave and Jack's come on, and then, who knows? One day, Big Dave might come on if we keep in touch with the guys. You know.
Do you know it's not in their interest though, is it? It kind of isn't.
But then it is because, like, I totally agree with some like West Ham Fan TV. Like they're a massive voice for the West Ham fans. Like they've got like 12,000 subscribers. People go just to have a rant on their fan cams and stuff. Like, I think West Ham need to be a bit more open to that side of the game. I know they don't like the negative press getting out there, but it's like that is part of football.
I think they do this is very obviously, it's media bias, but they do as long as you're the right channel. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they've got their own. West Ham have their own official YouTube channel, and they done that search for a presenter thing not that long ago. And obviously, Spencer works with the club quite regularly now. Obviously, came from YouTube. He's a YouTuber, so it's obviously something the club are open to. Even when they signed that esports guy, the FIFA player, things like that. So they're aware of these things. Yeah. They are obviously aware of these things, but like I say, is if you're the right type of channel. The thing is, and I like with West Ham Fan TV. Obviously, it's a fantastic channel, and they are a huge voice for the fans. But like you say, they're not arse lickers. You know what I mean? They're not gonna say.
They say it how it is,
they say it how it is, and that's why they're so popular. That's why they're so popular. But obviously, as you say, the club can't.
West Ham don't like that. Yeah, West Ham don't.
They can't promote negative things about themselves, even if it's true. Unfortunately, that's just the way media is in general. But
you know what they don't help themselves with as well, West Ham, is that they have a Twitter account, but they don't answer any questions.
No.
Like, people are always sending them things. Tickets for this, man, blah, blah, blah. There's always questions. It's just a one-way street, and they don't respond to hardly anything.
So that's why it's good that the channels like our own, Jay's and West Ham Fan TV, are at it, because this is the place they can go to. They can go to us and rant their stuff, and we will get it out there. And there's no doubt in my mind that Jack, Dave, watch us, watch West Ham Fan TV, and they've definitely watched Jay because he's tweeted it out. So they do watch us. They definitely do watch. No?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah, they'd be silly not to.
Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed us, and it's great to have Lee back. Very close to 1,400 subscribers, guys. If you can get us up there, 20 more to go. Be really, really nice. I don't think we'll quite hit that 2,000 by Christmas for that big competition. It's up to you guys to get us there. But if you like the video, please give us a like. As I say, please subscribe, leave some comments, any questions, any topics you want us to cover over now and up to Christmas, please let us know. We'll probably have a little break over Christmas, maybe a week or two. Obviously, we've got families, but we'll still be doing the previews and stuff. But that's it from me. That's it from Lee. That's it from Paul. Come on, you irons. Let's go.
Cheers.
Jay, he left you out.